Hello again. So we stay in the hospitality industry. Serviced apartments play an increasing role in the accommodation mix. Please listen to Julia Harnischfeger, Managing Director JOYN Serviced Living. She discusses with guests and industry experts what the new normal looks like, how companies make travel decisions for their teams, and what role serviced apartments can play in restarting business travel. This is a recorded session.
Hello, good morning, good day, and welcome to everyone who's participating today for this session at ITB Berlin NOW. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. And I'm sure I'm not the only one when I say how much we all wish we could be in Berlin together. So for a face-to-face meetup, but once more we find ourselves in front of these screens who have become our second home in the last few months. So at least I have invited my guests into their JOYN apartments, wherever they are, and a very warm welcome. My name is Julia Harnischfeger. I'm the Managing Director for JOYN Serviced Living, and most importantly, I am your host today. Our guests for the discussion today with the title, A Perfect Match, Business Travel and Service Apartments in the New Normal, have joined me to tell us a little bit more about how they travel and how they see business travel in the future. A few weeks ago, we found ourselves in the team brainstorming about this title and had to ask ourselves again, what role can serviced apartments play in rethinking and restarting travel? And most importantly, what is that new normal that we start to refer to? Is it already normal? So today is the opportunity to gather some perspectives, hear stories, and share experiences with my guests and with you via the live chat. So we invite you to join us, ask your questions, and we'll hope to respond to them as much as we can. My guests are Holger Fuchs, Managing Director at Mavie Film, a business traveler himself, and also a serviced apartment fan, converted already. Oliver Meinicke, Director Global Account Management at BCD Travel, as a travel expert with insight into global travel decisions of global companies. And Markus Kuckertz, Head of Department IT Strategy and Innovation at Vodafone, responsible for a team who is usually on the road, manages projects and travel internationally. Thank you very much for being here today. And as an introduction, at JOYN, we offer the German do. So at JOYN, we are on first name basis. It's part of our culture, part of how we deliver guest service. So I'm happy to have Holger, Oliver, and Markus with me today. As an introductory statement, I would like to say every challenge also offers an opportunity. This time is now, and we have to rethink travel and place serviced apartments at the forefront of it. Considering that it feels we certainly have a million challenges right now, I would think we maybe also have a million opportunities. So Holger has been traveling. I know you have been at one of our properties in Munich, and you have been working hard. Film industry is definitely booming. You are on the forefront with those productions. And what has your experience been like? What is important for you now when you make travel decisions for you, your colleagues, and your company?
Yeah. Yes, Julia, thank you. As you said, I had the possibility to go a few times in the JOYN in Munich, the Munich Rosé, when we had a local production in Munich. And maybe one of the first things, it's the small things to make the big things big, was that the atmosphere is so friendly. And from the first time, I really felt like coming a little bit of home, as we have to be in Cologne, in Berlin, and sometimes even in LA or in Paris at the film festivals. It's always the same. You go to a hotel, but the atmosphere and everything is like it was or it is in a regular hotel. And I think this is the most advantage you guys having in the JOYN apartments, that I was coming to, like, I have my own private place. I can sit in the lobby. There are very, very charming and very, a good style and I think a fresh look like it should be in these days, where I can do my things, where I can work on my laptop or I can do my phone without being asked for a cup of tea all 5 minutes. So it really feels very, very comfortable to stay there. However, I have to be there more than a few days or a week. And so I have my privacy, and so I can do my things. So for me, and even for all my producer colleagues, and we had some of our teams already there, they really love it to be on their own, to go on the balcony, to stay inside, to take something to eat with them or to order it. So it's a good thing you guys are doing there.
Sounds a bit like less is more in that case. So, good product, kitchenette, your microwave, a certain degree of self-service, but in the sense that independence, is that what you like, to have your own space? And you said it's a bit like coming home.
Perfect. I think the own space and to have the possibility to cook a small meal in my own kitchen in the apartment is the perfect thing. If I want to go out in the restaurant, I go out in the restaurant. So I really feel it's a kind of freedom you have in these apartments to do really what you want. And even if you go on a jogger in the lobby, or you go in the regular business style, you can go whatever you're feeling it at this moment. So it's a great thing. Yeah.
Right. I know that BCD Travel recently asked quite a lot of travelers what is important to them. So maybe, Oliver, is this something that resonates with you, or did others say something completely different?
Yes, Julia, thank you. BCD Travel did a representative research among 700 travelers, and we pulled primary data for those. The main focus for travelers is the travel necessity if they go somewhere, followed obviously by health reasons. And health reasons is where this very point that we just heard kicks in, because the ability to socially distance yourself at the moment is one of the highest priorities. You have thoughts about personal health risks, about your destination's COVID-19 rate, the quarantine requirements, and COVID-19 testing. So you might even be possible to do one of those when you go into one of your properties, for example, if possible. Things that are of lesser importance right now amongst the travelers are the cost of trips and the sustainability thought, which were of high priority in the past. However, this changed now. So I would say, yes, it's resonating.
Mm-hmm. Sustainability certainly hasn't disappeared. It probably changed its position in the ranking, if I may say. Yeah, for us, this is a story and an important focus that continues at JOYN. Yeah, simply because our buildings are partially certified. Our take on the fact that services that are not needed are not delivered, and the guests can make some of their own choices. So, do you see sustainability coming back once, hygiene, social distancing, and all the other criteria that are currently on everyone's mind are covered and kind of safe?
It will regain its importance because it's a long-term goal. However, at the moment, in the mind of travelers, the health issues obviously are predominant. Yeah,
absolutely. We have seen across the market, not just for us at JOYN, but in general, a lot of hotel companies, a lot of serviced apartment companies developing really strong hygiene campaigns and measures. Yeah. What is your take on how safe do the travelers that are currently being looked after by yourself and your team, how safe do they feel? Do you think the expectations of these hygiene measures are delivered?
To me, are you asking myself?
Yes, please, Oliver.
Perfect. I can give you a perspective out of the travel management itself. For us, we see a clear tendency towards different measures that have to be taken in order for travel to pick up again. And some of those include rapid testing protocols, for example, as well as vaccination proofs in order to avoid quarantines at your point of destination. Then we see standardized hygiene concepts and health protocols, and also digital health passports as being of a vital nature to travelers. And also the point of being able to trace your social contacts, for example. Yeah. So this is something that we see as a high importance at the moment, and which will make business travel pick up again. Yeah, at the moment. If someone is more interested in these topics, then there is the BCD Travel and What You Need to Know, a guide on the path back to safe travel, where there's lots more of details about all those topics.
Fantastic, thank you. And we do want to play that role. And I'm sure, Markus, you see some of those points within your team and your area of responsibility as well. Oliver was just saying one point is the necessity, and then comes the hygiene, health reasons. So with necessity, it obviously means travel has to happen, which we can only partially influence. How are you seeing this within your team that used to be on the road all the time and now has a very different environment they work in?
Yeah, it's totally correct. So thanks for the question, Julia. 1 year ago, I mean, our teams were constantly traveling all over Europe. So it was about who has the most miles. And so we are driving large-scale IT projects, and people always had to meet somewhere to produce their results and to discuss and to meet each other. And I mean, that had some advantages. But I mean, we now were forced actually to change. And if you ask, I want to come to the question at the beginning: what is the new normal? And I see the paradigm on our side that the on-site is actually the new off-site. So it totally changes. 1 year ago, we had 5 or 4 days in the office, so we really met in the headquarters of our company. And it changed to that we meet somewhere. It doesn't have to be the company headquarters or the office. You just bring teams together to meet and to produce results and to work on the projects. So our offices actually will therefore be more a place for workshops and team meetings, and that are totally new requirements that come. For our company, actually, it was, of course, a breakthrough in virtual collaboration, but this is actually a different story. So we really learned how to deal with all those virtual formats. And I think actually, like we are doing here, all those virtual events, conferences, as you will see a lot more in the next years coming. But what we need actually, in terms of service apartments, we need a place where we can meet. And so you just bring in your people to a big city. It can be Hamburg or Cologne, depends on where people are coming from, which suits the best. And what you need there is a flexible offer where people are feeling good. Maybe not just the past hotel standard, something a bit more lightweight. And it has to be somewhere in the middle of everything that you, as Holger said, that you feel comfortable to just go out and grab something that you just need, and that you have a safe room maybe where you can produce your working results, your project results, and after a couple of days, 3 or 4 days, you just go out and people go home and continue their virtual work. So there's a big change in the pattern that we see in the last 12 months in our work.
That's helpful, and it's interesting to say that you're also looking at meeting space in a new way and in a secure way, of course. Yeah, and that leads me to my final question, and that is, what do all of you wish for from that serviced apartment sector and serviced apartment space? We know there is a wide range. There are offers that are very hotel-like. There are offers that are very residential. There are sites with meeting rooms and with services and with the gym. And what we're hearing from you is definitely the fact that the own space, the social distancing, the kitchenette, and that opportunity to really shape your own stay is super important. But if we leave our guests, our viewers digitally and online today with a wish from your side. So Markus said some meeting space, some flexible product that allows you to have these really huddle meeting and work on projects focused. Yeah. What about yourself, Oliver? What's on the wish list?
As you said, there's the focus on having social, the possibility for socially distancing. And we also see the will of having no contact to low contact when checking in, checking out. Mm-hmm. Definitely something you are offering and that travelers are looking for at the moment.
Fantastic. Holger, a final wish?
Yeah, maybe some more cooperations like you have with gyms or maybe some local cinemas or other things. You can go, but you must not. And maybe, like Markus said, to go on, like to create some corners where you have your calmness and to go on this way. I think it's the best thing for future.
Fantastic. This has probably been the shortest 15 minutes of today of the week. Thank you so much for joining. We have by far not been able to cover everything, but it has been interesting to share those thoughts. And I'm glad we got an opportunity to get together, even if not in person. So the future holds plenty of opportunities for all of us and for travel and for serviced apartments. And I think all of us in our respective segments are ready to shape this future. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.